Hey everybody, you're listening to Classic Kiss presented by the Sound Check. As always, I got my two co-hosts with me, Beau over here to my left.
How's it going, everyone?
And Ty right in front of me.
What's up, everybody?
And we got a good episode for you guys today. We're going to be covering Paul Stanley's solo album from 1978. We've already gone through the other three members' solo albums, and so this is the last one. And we decided to kind of space these out in a way, not even space these out, but do these in a list that we start strong. The middle two are kind of meh, and then we try and end on a good note. So because this album is probably the second best, in my opinion. So it'll be fun to hear what you guys got to say about this album as well. I don't really want to go into a half-hour monologue like I usually do, and I know we're a little bit tight on time. But yeah, I mean, Paul Stanley, do you guys have any overall thoughts, or not even, I guess we could save that for later, but just what did you guys feel when listening to this album, and what, I mean, if you want to talk a little bit about how you feel about it, I guess you can. And then we'll just come back to it at the end of the episode as well. But I'll start with you, Ty.
Well, I feel like it's a very Kiss album. Like, out of the four, Paul's probably stays closest to what Kiss was doing around the time. I mean, of course, Aces doesn't stray too far, but it feels very Kiss. And that's kind of what he set out to do. So I'm not surprised.
Right. What about you, Beau?
Oh, I agree with Ty. It makes it sound like he knew what was working, and so he just stuck to the script instead of trying to like
do what like Peter and Gene did. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I really do enjoy both of those points, especially the kind of like sticking to the script, because like we said, not to say that it's not to say that he didn't try anything on this album, but overall it's way less than what Gene tried to do, and especially Peter, with, you know, Peter going a completely different route than what Kiss is used to. Granted, at least he went to his roots, you know, and then Gene's was just more experimental in terms of he had quite a bit of instrumentation on top of like your basic guitar, bass, and drums. And I feel like Paul has some of that around. I mean, maybe not as much like horns or strings or anything like that, but he has a lot of 12-string guitar on this. He has a couple of ballads or power ballads, or like half and half songs where the first half is a ballad. The second half is, you know, a little bit heavier. But with that being said, what Beau pointed out earlier, it is a very, I don't know what the word is. It's a very familiar sound, I guess you could say, for Paul. And that's kind of cool, you know. I think if it does anything, it highlights just how much Paul's sound is a part of Kiss. You know, it's not like he was trying to rip off Kiss. I mean, he's obviously one of the main members, but like, it just goes to show how influential his role in Kiss is, because when he goes and makes a solo album, it sounds a lot like Kiss. So, you know, there's an argument to be made that he is the sound of Kiss. I know there's a lot of fans out there who will say that Ace is the sound of Kiss, but I would say it's more so Paul, just in like the type and overall sound. But you can make the argument that Ace is, you know, without Ace, you don't have Kiss. Without Paul, you don't have Kiss. Without Gene and without Peter, you don't have Kiss. So just this, in my opinion, because I was always one of those guys that was like, oh, Ace is the sound of Kiss. Without Ace, it's blah. And it's like, I feel like Paul Stanley's album kind of shows you otherwise. Like, yeah, I don't think any of these songs are as good as some Kiss songs, but they're still pretty solid and they can stand on their own. So, like I said, I'm not going to do a 30-minute monologue, so sorry. And who gives a fuck about my opinion of Paul Stanley?
Hey, you're the host.
So
you're the host. That's what you're supposed to do.
So anyways, just some general info. We're just going to hop right into it. We got obviously released September 18th, 1978, along with the others. This one was interesting. It was actually recorded in between February and July of 1978, which the other ones were like April and July, I think, or March.
I think they started closer to March.
Yeah.
He did start before them, but it was also because of scheduling conflicts with some of the other people he had on his record.
Okay. And I just didn't know if that was the thing where like he had kind of been planning in his own head, like, yeah, we're probably going to do solo albums before it actually came to fruition. Or if, you know, maybe some of these songs, I mean, we'll get to them, but some of these songs sound like they were going to be for another Kiss record. And I mean, when we get to Dynasty, you're definitely going to be like, oh, okay. Maybe some of this material that's on Paul's album was actually written for Dynasty or for a future Kiss album in mind. And he just ended up, you know, doing this for like, you know, putting them on his album instead. And then later on kind of revisiting those same themes because maybe they're just demos that, you know, like kind of he took a demo 2 or 3 different directions and made more songs out of it, which is cool. I love when artists do that. But you'll definitely see if you haven't already heard, you'll definitely hear and hear us talk about the similarities of some of these songs on here and songs on Dynasty and even Creatures of the Night down the road. So, all right, we got it was recorded at Electric Lady in New York City. Also the Record Plant in New York City and the Village Recorder in Los Angeles. So a lot of common themes of going from LA to New York and New York to LA for all of these solo albums. And at least in terms of where they recorded. Produced by Paul Stanley and Jeff Glixman. I'm going to guess that's how you say it. I don't know if the X is silent or something, you know?
No, I'm pretty sure you got it right.
Gotcha. It peaked at number 40 on the US Billboard 200, which I think is the 3rd highest, right?
Yeah, I don't even know why I had to stop and think about that. Yeah, it's the 3rd highest.
Because I mean, was Gene's the highest technically, or was his the...
Gene's had the highest peak. Aces was on the chart the longest.
Okay, gotcha. And then All Music, or this is just a fun little fact. And who gives a fuck what All Music has to say? But it's just something I put in there. All Music has given this album a 3 out of 5 stars, saying that it's the most Kiss-like out of all the albums, which is
fair.
Yeah, common theme.
Yeah, but hey, All Music is no Rolling Stone.
Right. And actually, another little fun fact. This is the only album out of the 4 to not feature a cover, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
It's funny because earlier when Beau showed up, I was, you know, doing some research and typing on my computer over here. And I just made this confused face and he was like, what? And I was like, it says this is the only one to not feature a cover song. I thought the first song was a cover. And then I was thinking, I was like, I've been listening to Unmasked recently. What the fuck am I talking about? So yeah, that's why I was like confused. I was like, how the fuck does he not have a cover? The first song is, and I was like, God damn it, that's Unmasked, Garrett. Why are you thinking that that's this album? So yeah, the only album out of the 4 to not feature a cover, which is pretty cool. Props to him. And yeah, I mean, that's really all I got for the general info portion. Is I'm sure you got some stuff maybe behind the scenes, all that different type of stuff. And yeah, if you want to go ahead and talk a little bit about what you know, go ahead.
All right. To start with, I'm a fucking idiot. And of course, I had the sales figures and the like shipping figures for the other 3. I apparently didn't even bother to do that for this fucking record. I don't know why I did that. But they all had a song from their solo records on the following tour for Dynasty. Paul's was Move On. Not the fucking song I would have picked, but not my job. He did, like you said, he cut a lot of demos in New York at Electric Lady. And then they flew out to LA to re-record them for like masters. They kept them all. So all of them that you hear are those original demos that were done in New York. It's not every song on the record, but it's like half the record.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And that piece of information is not correct. I don't even know where the fuck.
What's that?
It says that the only person besides Paul that is on in both the LA and New York sessions was Bob. But the bass player who came with Bob was in LA also.
Bass player.
Yeah, apparently. But which that's actually the fun tidbit is Bob and the bass player, I think his name is Steve Buslow. Yeah. He they were together in a band. They were playing for Meatloaf. And their schedule was kind of why Paul's album ran a little longer in terms of production. Because while the band was filming the shitty fucking movie we've already covered, they were in an overseas tour with Meatloaf. So it was a little bit of working around that schedule also. A couple of the songs on this album were actually written about a woman Paul was having a relationship with, I guess is the best way to say it. Her name is Carol Kay. And she was actually like one of the publicists for Bill Aucoin's office.
Really?
I guess after they spent some time together, they ended up becoming like an item. And Paul started having severe panic attacks.
Really?
Which he attributes to now in retrospect being feelings of inadequacy. Because Paul didn't really have any serious relationships before that.
Yeah.
So I think he just got scared.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it happens.
Yeah, exactly.
But so yeah, she's got a couple songs on here, or he wrote a couple songs about her for this record. I think, did you mention he decided to mix his album in London?
I did not mention that.
Okay,
did not know that.
Yeah, they mixed his album at a studio in London called Trident. Never fucking heard of it.
No, that sounds familiar. I know that there's Trident consoles and stuff like that, which are like pretty famous like recording consoles and stuff in the audio engineering world. So, and I think they are like English based company or something like that. So that doesn't surprise me that or not necessarily that doesn't surprise me, but like sounds familiar,
right?
You know?
And then I mean, aside from that, A, I'm trying to keep it short, and B, just looking through some of this, I got long-winded in my notes for no reason.
No worries.
But basically everyone that worked on the record except for, was his first name Steve Glicksman, whatever the fucking producer's name was. All of them pretty much
Jeff Glicksman.
Jeff. Yes. Fuck him.
My name is Jeff.
I guess they all pretty much said Paul was like really easy to work with. He was like chill, laid back, and would just kind of let them do whatever. And if he didn't like it, he would try to throw out more of what he thought like they should be going for. But if they could do it better, he wouldn't, he wouldn't say anything about it.
Yeah.
And then fucking the guy's name is Richie Fontana. He was the drummer in New York that, for whatever reason, didn't go out to LA with them.
Okay.
He had never met any of them before. Like, because it was Steve, Bob, Paul, and then.
Yeah.
And he had pretty much said, like, yeah, I hadn't met any of them before, but like we walked in and just immediately, something clicked. I guess he actually says that he had been called by the secretary from Bill Aucoin's office and asked to come meet the guys from Kiss because they were considering him as a replacement for Peter.
Interesting.
Which he believes is almost solely because of working with Paul on his record. Yeah. So someone in the band had some sort of experience with him already.
Right.
So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to say he's a bad drummer because he's not. But he also kind of thinks that is the primary reason, if not the only reason, that he was even contacted about the job.
Gotcha.
And then apparently, Bob was asked by both Gene and Paul to play on their records, which I don't disbelieve. But he pretty much said his relationship at that point pretty much turned to he would play with Paul and then turn around and write with Gene.
Oh, okay.
Which the source that I was using, I do want to mention that. Bob, in the fashion that we've kind of covered him already, kind of sucks his own dick a lot in the interviews relating.
No, never.
In the interviews relating to this. But I also think that these interviews were done after he and Ace had kind of patched things up.
Oh, really?
Because he's much less critical of Ace in these interviews. But he pretty much says like, I don't even know why that was a thing that he mentioned, but they had asked him who some of his influences were around that time. And he goes, "Oh, Dick Wagner."
No shit.
I'm like,
for those of you that don't remember, Dick was the one that played on Destroyer. Sorry.
It's such an odd, like,
yeah.
What are the fucking odds? You know what I mean? But I guess Bob said in that same interview that he, that when he had talked to Paul, and because Paul does a couple leads on this record, but it's a lot of like some of the more ballady stuff that Paul had told him, "Oh, I was trying to play like you."
Interesting.
I'm like, that's just a fucking weird thing to say.
Yeah.
You know, even if it is true, that just comes off weird.
For sure.
But I will also mention though that Bob did say when asked about if he had listened to Ace's album that he thought it was a very good record and that he thought Ace had excelled at what he had set out to do.
That's good.
Yeah. Apparently he had also done a Christmas album and like a few years before these interviews were done, which I believe it was 2012 or 14, somewhere in that area. And he had gotten, let's see, he had Dio, Lemmy, Billy Gibbons, Dave Grohl, and Tony Iommi, and he wanted to have Ace on the record too, but it just didn't work out.
Wait, what year was this?
That was probably like 2010.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so, because it was before these interviews happened, but I don't know the exact time that would have been the case.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But these interviews were done somewhere around 2012 to like 14.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I'm just going to cut it and say, hey, that's probably good for me.
Okay, cool. Beau, did you have anything you want to add?
No.
Okay. Just making sure. All right. So I got, I think we'll just do the album artwork in passing right now. So I don't really know if I'm getting this right with the album artwork and stuff, because I have notes here that says the design was by Dennis Wollock and then the album artwork was by Araldo Caragatti. So I don't know if it was one of those things where somebody like designed, like the overall design was done by a certain person, but then like the one who actually like then like brought it to life in a sense was another person, because I know that's kind of how it was for Destroyer,
right,
with Dennis Wollock, and I think it was Ken Kelly or something like that.
That sounds right.
Something like that. So anyways, yeah, same guys that have done the other three, and I think we all gave this an 8 out of 10 for album designs, right?
Yeah,
whatever we gave the last one.
Whatever we gave the last one.
Whatever we gave Aces, because apparently I can't fucking remember.
Yeah.
That, and I may have accidentally given the other ones a different score.
Right. All right. So yeah, that's that. And then let me see here. We will be right back with the track by track breakdown. Alrighty, and we're back with the track by track breakdown. Once again, this is just where we run through the track list and just give you a little insight on what we think about the tracks and composition, certain instrumentation, all that different stuff. We're going to go ahead and start it off with track number 1, Tonight You Belong to Me. And actually, I just want to quick quick note that they all these songs are written by Paul Stanley, except for tracks 2, 3, and 5, which those were co-written with Michael Japp. I'm guessing that's how you say it.
I think so, yeah. Which he comes back up later too.
So we'll when we get to those songs, we'll make sure to credit him as well. So Tonight You Belong to Me. Very interesting start to this album, I think. It gives me a little bit of it gives me shades of what's it called? I Want You from Rock and Roll Over. How it kind of starts with like a 12-string guitar or like a acoustic guitar, and it sounds like it's going to be a little bit of a power ballad or something like that, or a ballad, and then all of a sudden it just boom, like kicks into overdrive and kind of just comes out of nowhere, punches you in the face with a killer, guitar riff. And I really like that. I think it's a cool start to the album, especially with Paul being the more like romantic one of the group,
Right.
But yeah, it's a nice little fake out. And yeah, I enjoy the song a lot. And I think that it's one of the best ones off the album. This guitar riff is really fucking catchy. Like all this week, leading up to this episode, I've just been humming it in my head and out loud, just wherever I go. Another thing about this song is that it's very similar to Sure Know Something, which we'll get to on Dynasty, in the fact that there's that little section where it does the boom, 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 boom. I mean, that's literally straight from, Sure Know Something. Granted, that came out later, so it's technically Sure Know Something is ripping from this song in a sense, but very similar. A lot of similarities between these two tracks. And then also there's a part in, I want to say like the turnaround right after the verse, or like when he's going into the second part of the verse, where it does a ba-na, ba-na, which kind of makes you think of Creatures of the Night when they do that part in that song. So I've just talked to Ty recently at work about this. And it's just like, it's very interesting. I think what happened was some of these songs like were demos, and he took maybe 1 or 2 demos and wrote like 3 or 4 songs from them that kind of use pieces from each other in a sense, because there's a couple other songs that we'll get to that either share some similarities with this song, share some similarities with some songs off Dynasty, and then even into Creatures of the Night. So it's very, very interesting that, not interesting, it's kind of normal for guitarists or songwriters to kind of pull similar parts from past songs. But I just thought that was kind of cool, like little ear candy for somebody, and a little bit of like a fun fact for people who really enjoy Kiss and know their songs in and out, that, oh yeah, I can kind of hear the similarities between this song and another song. Do you guys have anything you want to say about it?
Oh, you said you got I Want You vibes from it. I got Black Diamond vibes.
Yeah, that's another good similarity that I didn't even like pick up on. Anything you want to say, Ty?
This is one of the songs that was written about Carol Kay.
Okay.
I really enjoy this song, and especially being less familiar with the solo albums than a lot of their other work. It's just a fun one to come back to find.
Right.
But
and then another thing is he does the "Oh, I know" at the very beginning of the verse, like to kick into the song, or like I should just say the verse. I don't know why, but like the first lyrics are "Oh, I know," which he does in Strutter as well. So he's kind of pulling some, I guess you could say, Paulisms.
Yeah,
because we say Ace pulls a lot of Ace-isms. So yeah, so that's Tonight You Belong to Me. Pretty solid song, good song to start an album with, especially I think. But I think it's time to move on with track number 2.
Not the joke, the song. Yeah. Sorry.
He finally got a pun.
Right.
Yes.
So track number 2, Move On. This one is written with Michael Japp. And
weird.
Yeah, that's what, or at least that's what Wikipedia tells me.
No, that's accurate, but I'm just confused by that because of who's on the song.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because the female vocals in the background are Desmond Child and Rogue.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, of course, Paul would go on to write I Was Made for Loving You, primarily the song that most people would know with Desmond Child.
Yep.
So it's just weird that he's on a song with Paul, but didn't co-write it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Interesting. And then, so yeah, move on. I'm not too much of a fan of this song, but I don't hate it. It's just kind of there. And I feel like that's going to be kind of not a decent majority, but quite a bit of songs on here where I'm just like, I'm indifferent about it.
I don't mind it, actually.
Really?
That's another solid song to me.
Okay.
I don't think it's bad, but it's probably easily one of my least favorites from this record.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You see, we talked about Gene suffering from a lot of like chorus on his album. That's what that feels like here.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Was there anything else you wanted to say about it?
I feel like you could definitely take this song off this album, put it on Dress to Kill.
Oh, okay. All right.
It would fit.
I respect it. I got number 3, Ain't Quite Right. Once again, written with Michael Japp. I'm not really going to say anything about this. Is this one of the power ballads in a sense, or?
I don't know if you would consider it a power ballad or not.
Okay, gotcha. I feel like it's a little bit softer.
It is a little bit softer, yeah.
Correctly, okay.
But I do like some of the.
Oh, okay, yeah. So go ahead.
You're good. I like that the like clean chords that play throughout the song. I think it's an interesting contrast. I like the kind of like wailing guitar in the background in between the verses, because it's not like I don't know. That's the best way I can think to describe it.
Okay.
But
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's kind of got like a bluesy feel to it.
Yep, and that's exactly what Beau said when we were waiting for you to get here. We were listening through, and he's like, "This has a very bluesy feel," and I agreed with him, and also I brought it up. This sounds like a very Steely Dan-ish type song to me, like how it's kind of like laid back. It's got like this very interesting groove. It feels like I've heard this song somewhere before, and I'm not trying to like throw that as a dig at Paul or something like that,
right?
But that's just the vibes it gives me. And I'm always one of those dudes that whenever I hear a song, I'm not trying to compare it to something else. I just like to kind of convey the image that it brings to me, or like the feel that it brings to me, or the vibe.
Right.
Because there's another song that we'll get to here in a bit that I think is actually, I think it's the next song. But yeah, it gives me vibes of a different artist as well. So yeah, I mean, it's not a bad song, I don't think. I just don't really I don't think it's one of my tops either. You know? I'm happy it exists, but I don't feel the need to come back to it that often. It's a nice, easy listen. It's not anything too crazy and nothing too dull.
Yeah, it's quite right.
Look at that. Look at that. All right, let's go ahead and move on to, or did you want to say anything else? Okay, sorry. Because I was going to say, I know we had talked about earlier about the blues thing. If you want to elaborate on that at all, you can.
What I meant from that is because I heard like it sounds like a saxophone or something in the song.
Interesting.
I don't know that
there's like some sort of horn in there.
It could be in the back.
It might be a guitar. I might be wrong.
Yeah,
but it does sound like a horn to me.
And that's the thing, is there's like sometimes like, especially with obviously older music, when they were not limited to just guitars and stuff like that and like real instruments, but back in the day, like when you put a bunch of effects on a guitar, you can make it sound like certain things, you know. But anyways, we got track number 4, Wouldn't You Like to Blow Me? Sorry, no. Wouldn't You Like to Know Me? And
shit, that might have been a better title for the song.
Yeah. I actually enjoy this. I actually enjoy this song a lot. It gives me some Cheap Trick Surrender vibes.
I get that.
Just the chords, the tone of the guitars, and the sonic spectrum of it, in my opinion, really gives me that type of vibe. And it's a fun one. The vocals seem a little loud in the mix for me, but other than that, this is a good song, I think. It's fun.
Right.
Yeah.
If you guys want to elaborate at all.
I don't really have much to elaborate on it. This song, I didn't remember it when I first listened to it. But as I listened to it longer, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
this is a good song.
Yeah,
Like,
fair enough.
It's not the best one off the album, but
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I by no means think it's the worst. So,
Good.
I mean, I agree.
And I think at this point, sorry,
no,
go ahead.
You're good.
At this point, it just shows that that this album is just solid so far. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
nothing too crazy, but it's not bad.
Right.
So go ahead. Sorry.
You're good. This is the other song written about Carol Kay. And I actually like that on the back of Paul's autobiography, Dave Grohl mentioned specifically this song.
Oh, really?
It's just a fun little way that he wrote his blurb about the book. But
Interesting. You know
Yeah.
what's, and I'm not saying this just to squeeze Dave Grohl into this podcast, but I'm not gonna lie, I could see why Dave Grohl would like this type of song, especially with stuff that he does with Foo Fighters. I can hear some not similarities, but just I can see
the influences.
the influence. Sorry, that's the word that I was trying to think of. But yeah, that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Because it does have that more pop rock type vibe, you know what I mean?
right.
So yeah. Did you want to say anything else?
No, I mean, I really don't know that I have a whole lot to say.
Gotcha. All right, so I got track number 5, Take Me Away, Together as One, once again with Michael Japp. I'm blanking on this song.
Heavy use of 12 string.
Is it? Okay, is this more of the power ballad or
This is the one that's got where it starts very subdued and goes really into those hard power chords.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because it's the one that I was trying to sing to you the other day at work, hoping you'd get what I meant.
Yeah, I definitely probably did not get what you meant.
Which I like this song.
Really? Okay.
But yeah, the very melodic, laid back intro is very heavy 12 string.
Gotcha. Interesting. Anything you want to say, Beau?
I got to be honest, this is the first song that's a miss for me, man.
Okay. Well, I mean,
It's not a bad song. It's just it's not memorable to me.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. This one, off the top of my head, I wouldn't be able to be boom, you know what I'm saying? If you were to play this to me and be what song is this? It would take me a second to be oh, okay, this one. So I just haven't listened to it a lot, and I feel like that's part of the reason. Track number 6, we got It's All Right, and it's all right.
I was going to say,
oh yeah, didn't you say that earlier?
Yeah, it's all right. That's about.
There's a lot of this is the one where I said I feel like you could take this song and put it either on Dress to Kill, maybe a Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, or as you said, Love Gun. It's got that very Kiss-like guitar riffs in there, chord progressions, and out of all of these songs, I think that this one is the one that sounds the most like a Kiss song, in my opinion.
Which is fair.
Yeah, and that's just my opinion. There might be other ones that you guys would say it probably sounds more like a Kiss song. Maybe Tonight You Belong to Me, obviously, because of what's to come after it. But this one has a certain part in it, and it's a certain guitar lick that is used in Mr. Speed, I think. Especially where that intro riff for Mr. Speed. It's kind of tucked in this song a little bit, but if you listen to it again, look out for that. That's really all I got to say. Is anything you want to say, Beau?
Not really.
Cool.
Again, it's another not memorable one for me, but I think I could pick it out better than the last one. So
Gotcha. Anything you want to say? No?
Not really.
Cool.
I agree. It's okay. I entirely see what you mean of it's one of the most Kiss songs on the record, but I don't think it's that good.
Yeah. We got track number 7, Hold Me, Touch Me, Think of Me When We're Apart.
A lot of parenthesis on this song.
For real. So I don't like this song. I'm just going to come out and say it. I think this is my first miss on this album. It's just so bland from start to finish, in my opinion. And I just don't care for it and like, this is another thing where, I was talking to Ty and Beau earlier before we started. There's a couple of songs on here, and it's this one mostly, that I feel like they're not terrible, like from a musical standpoint, but like his voice does not really fit certain songs. And it's this one more than any others because, or more than any of the other ones, because his voice on this just does not sound good to me. I don't know what it is. I just don't care for his performance on this one. And even though I don't necessarily hate the music part of it, I still think it is pretty bland. Like, there's not enough, not necessarily creativity, but like switch ups, I guess you could say. So yeah, that's just my opinion, and I'm not trying to rip this song to shreds or anything. It's not Ladies in Waiting. Sorry, I had to plug
Nothing
it.
will beat Ladies in Waiting. Okay.
I was listening back to, I think, like our Rock and Roll Over episode, and we had plugged Ladies in Waiting somewhere in there, and I mentioned that I want to like at least slip Ladies in Waiting into every episode, and I know I haven't in the past too, but I gotta get back on that train.
Not even stuff from the 80s will touch Ladies in Waiting. Okay.
I think it'll give it a run for its money. I'll say that.
Give me a record.
Right. Shit. So anything you guys want to say about this song?
I agree. I respect that he tried to do something different in an album that he tried to stay heavy Kiss in.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I think we're all in agreement on this one. So.
Gotcha. All right, track number 8, we got Love in Chains. And this is a great song, a really fucking good song. And I feel like this is a prototype of what's to come of their good stuff in the 80s, in my opinion.
I entirely agree.
So do you have anything you want to say about it, Beau?
I don't know your guys' fascination with this song. Maybe it's just because I haven't listened to it enough. So I might have to go back and just put it on repeat over and over. I don't know. But I mean, from what I have heard, because like I said, I've only listened to this like maybe a handful of times. It isn't a bad song. So.
Okay. So since you're wrong, just kidding. I'm fucking with you. No, for real, go back and listen back to it. I think you'll enjoy it. It's one we talked about it in previous episodes where it's like whenever one of us is like, yeah, I don't really know about this song, and then we're like, go back and listen to it. Yep. This song is fun, in my opinion. Do you want to go in any further on it?
I don't really have a whole lot to say. I mean, I agree. I love the shit out of this song. It is fantastic.
Oh, well, what's funny is, sorry, just real quick. It's not that I didn't like it. I was just kind of like, yeah, it's a good song. And then like, cause I had this, in my top 3, I'll go ahead and spoil it, but I was like, I had it ranked in a certain way. And then you were like, we listened back to it, before we started the podcast. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to have to move that one up. so yeah, I kind of fucked up my list coming in today, but oh well.
Yep. I feel that. I agree. It feels very proto hair metal, which I am not the biggest hair metal fan.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There's stuff from pretty much everything I can appreciate. It just, some hair metal gets too cheesy for me. I think this was a very good step in the right direction.
Right. And I agree with that because this, like, just thinking of it in my head, I'm like, wow, this really kind of is a weird prototype for the 80s, So I think that's really all I got to say on this song. And now we got track number 9, the last track on the album, Goodbye.
Appropriately titled.
Yeah. Shout out to him. He should have fucking named the first track Hello.
I had that thought earlier.
Right. So track number 9, Goodbye. It's not a bad song. It borrows a little bit of the same riff from the first track, Tonight You Belong to Me, with the and then it kind of goes into its own thing. So this is another song where I thought that, okay, maybe this was branched off of one of the demos or one of the same demos that, Tonight You Belong to Me was written from. But I really enjoy the riff. And Ty, I know you have a problem with this song. Not a big problem with this song, but a certain problem with it.
I feel like this song has the laziest lyrics from this record.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Paul's voice on this song, but something about it I don't like.
Really? And I know you said something about the chorus too, right?
The chorus is by far the worst part for me, like vocally.
Uh-huh.
But the whole song just has something where I'm just like, I don't want it. I don't want it.
I can agree with the chorus part. I feel like his vocal performance is kind of weird. But I think that the music makes up for it in a sense. It's not a terrible song by any means. Anything from you, Beau?
This is another one I just don't care about. So
gotcha. So Beau said goodbye to that shit.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's the track by track breakdown. I know that was kind of quick, but I enjoy keeping it simple sometimes because, you got to keep it simple, stupid.
Hey.
Aha, another pun.
It does feel like he kept it pretty simple with this album. So I just look over and Beau's like,
I know. And it's bad because I saw him do it. I went, that's a good idea. And then I kept looking at it. I'm like, God damn it.
No, seriously though, he kept it pretty simple with this album.
He did.
So,
oh man. We'll be right back with the 3-in-1. Alrighty, guys, we're back with our 3-in-1 segment of this show portion. I fuck it up all the time. I don't know. Let's see here. You guys already know what this is about. We got the top 3 songs of the album for each of us. I want to go ahead and start with Beau over here. And what's your top 3, my guy?
Number 3 would be.
Oh, he's doing the countdown. All right.
Number 3, Wouldn't You Like to Know Me?
Okay.
Number 2 actually Ain't Quite Right.
Okay.
And I'll explain why. For that, it's more the musical aspect of it than the lyrics. I just love the way it sounds.
Okay.
And then Tonight You Belong to Me. I don't really listen to Love in Chains. I almost call it Alice in Chains. God damn it. I haven't listened to it enough to like it enough, but
that's a pretty solid list. I respect that it's a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and go with you, Ty, because I feel like ours is going to be the exact same.
I feel like I don't know that it's going to be.
Maybe it's not.
Because I'm struggling with the order. I'm going to say, I guess, I'm going to go with Love in Chains, Tonight You Belong to Me, and Together As One.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's gonna be, because I really like that song. I don't know what it is about it that grabs me, but something about that song grabs me.
I respect it. So, and that was 1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, my number 1 is gonna be Love in Chains. After hearing that song again, I was like, there's not a way for me to not put that at number 1. Track number 2, Tonight You Belong to Me. Really enjoy that song. And then track number 3, sorry, in my notes here, I kind of fucked it up. So it's Wouldn't You Like to Know Me? But in my notes, I typed it as Wouldn't You Belong to Me? So yeah, but coming in at number 3 is Wouldn't You Like to Know Me? I just really enjoy that pop rock feel to it.
I get that. I did almost put that one in there.
Yeah. And I think it's just a fun song. Like I said, gives me shades of Cheap Trick in there. So, all right. What's your one discard, Beau?
Hold Me, Touch Me.
All right. Ty?
I'm going to agree. I want to give him credit for doing something different, but I don't vibe with it.
Yeah. That's going to be mine too. So I will say it's very interesting how not most of the time, but quite a bit we have similar, but there's always like one difference in our top threes, I feel like, but it's like we always have the same discard song for the most part.
A lot of time, yeah.
I feel like when we get to later albums, that's going to change.
Oh, yeah.
It may.
Yeah. Because, I mean, especially like the first, not including the solo albums, but the first like 8 albums. And I discard the live albums too. So they have 6 at this point?
Yep.
Are all fucking great fucking albums. I mean, except for Dress to Kill. I didn't really care for Dress to Kill.
It's the best album of all time.
I mean, yeah, I still think that one's okay, but I don't think it's great.
Yeah.
Come on and love the album, okay?
Right. Wait, is that song on? It is on Dress to Kill. I thought it was on. What am I thinking of? Got to Choose. That's what I'm thinking of. Off of.
Well, you got to choose.
Yes.
Dress to Kill.
Yeah, so that's the 3-in-1 segment. Sorry for that tangent. Jesus.
That's all right. The ladies are going to be waiting for a while for me to choose Dress to Kill. It's fine.
All right. So we'll be right back with our certified rating portion. All righty, guys. And we're back with our certified rating portion of the show. We're going to go ahead and rate this album out of 10. And since I went with Beau first last time, we're going to hand the mic over to Mr. Tyler Rohr. Shock me. Sorry. So yeah, go ahead. Out of 10.
I think I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay.
It's strong, but I still have some flaws with it.
Okay. That's not surprising. It's that's decent rating. What about you, Beau?
I'm gonna have to agree. A 7 also.
All right. Respect.
Just a few things here and there is what keeps it from getting a little bit higher.
Gotcha. I don't want to do it just to be different, but this is genuinely how I feel about this album. I'm gonna give it a 2. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna give it a 5. It's really just middle of the road for me.
Which is fair.
And I think the songs, even though I actually enjoy most of these songs, it doesn't really blow me away. You know what I mean?
I get that.
But I just, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to stick with my instincts and give it a 5 out of 10, which isn't horrible, especially considering the albums that we're going to get to here in the next 10 episodes. But I don't know how many albums we have left to cover. I just said 10 episodes because that's
there's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not including the other 2 live albums, we have at least 14.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, because they have 20 studio albums, not including the solo albums.
Damn.
And we've only done 6.
Wow. All right. Well, yeah. So what are your guys' last thoughts? Sorry, I'm fucking brain farting right now.
I could just see the black hole open in your brain where it just went. We have to do this 14 more times.
Yeah, I was like, shit. Oh,
hey, don't worry. We'll get to the Elder and it'll be fine.
Hey, you're right. God damn, I keep forgetting about that one.
I can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
Hey.
But I will say, like I said, this he kept it simple. He knew what the fans wanted. He did try something different a little bit.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's what missed the most.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's time to move on and say goodbye to the solo albums. So.
Fuck you. But anyways, my final thoughts, or do you have any final thoughts, Ty?
No.
No. Okay. I just want to say that even though I gave it a 5 out of 10, kudos to everybody who played on this because it sounds good. And especially kudos to Bob. Bob sounded really good on this fucking album.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he got to kind of, I'm not going to sit here and say he blew me away with some of his stuff, but it was just really solid guitar work. And I'm glad that he kind of got a spot to shine.
Right.
With him, not being in the shadows as much, because with his work on previous Kiss records, he was kind of in the shadows, like on the Live 2.
Right.
But I'm just glad that he kind of got his little time to shine with Paul, at least. And to me, I feel like this is what Kiss would have sounded like if Bob was the lead guitarist, if Bob beat out Ace. So yeah. Anyways, that's really all I got to say. And next episode, what are we going to be covering there, Ty?
Dynasty.
Cool. And if I'm in your neck of the woods,
it's Dynasty.
There we go. But you're in my neck of the woods. I'm just kidding. Paul banter never gets old.
No.
So yeah, we're going to be covering Dynasty, which is going to be really fun, I think. It's going to be, I thought it was going to be a very, not controversial album, but like a more where we don't necessarily agree a lot on a lot of the songs.
That's kind of what I'm expecting.
But now that I think about it, I think I'm more in your camp where I'm actually starting to come around to it a lot more that I listen to it.
Okay.
I've liked it for a while, so.
Sorry if it sounds like an echo chamber next week. I'll make sure that it's not too much of an echo chamber because I do have my problems with the album, but
I've got some problems with it too, but I still appreciate it.
Right. Oh, for sure. And we'll get to cover that artwork, which I really enjoy. So
yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah. Next episode, we're going to be on Dynasty. And if you guys haven't, go ahead and check out the other solo albums that we've covered. Mr. Ace Frehley, Peter Criss, Gene Simmons, and now Paul Stanley. So we got the solo albums out of the way. We also got all the previous albums and the very well-regarded Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park episode out. That one was fun. Go ahead and check that one out. Check out all of our shit because we enjoy the views and we enjoy talking about Kiss and having people tag along for it. So that's really all I got to say. Long-winded outro as always. For Ty, Beau, and myself, we appreciate you guys listening, and we'll catch you next time.